Good morning. So today's video is on fear with the coronavirus, and please follow the quarantine directives that we've received and the suggestions, and make sure that you're super clean, don't touch your face, try to be minimal in your outings, and really be careful in keeping away and social distancing. As I had said, my family and I have always social distanced. It was just the way we grew up, and a lot of people always used to take it negatively, or used to be insulted. But like at church, we never say hello. They always they breathe into their hands, and then then they shake hands or whatever, and then they hold hands. I'm Catholic, so they hold hands. We never did that. We always crossed our hands, and we were always viewed as being antisocial, or or being disrespectful or rude, but we're not. And so my family and I have done social distancing always. And if we were sick and there was an event or a family gathering or a lunch or whatever, it was expected that you not go and you stay home. And if you weren't, then you could be called on it. And people, my siblings and my parents did not like for you to breathe on the food. So it was very interesting. So that's what's sort of happening right now. So make sure that you do the social distancing. Don't take it for granted, and don't be offended by it in any way. Keep your outings to a minimal, just everything that they've been saying. And that's not really what this video is about, but this video is about fear, and of course not in any way to minimize the coronavirus. And it is very, very serious, especially for those people that are sick. As I mentioned in my video with my students, I have asthma, so my kids are really, really concerned. But there's a lot of millennials that are very healthy that are getting it, so make sure that you take precautionary measures. But having said that, I think it was Franklin D. Roosevelt that did that amazing speech that we have nothing to fear but fear itself. And I'm not minimizing the epidemic in any way. And the coronavirus is very, very serious. It's at a global level. But we need to, as best as we can, do everything that we're required to do, the self-quarantine and everything, not touching, the social distancing when I first said, and everything, all the suggestions and all the health, rules that they've given us. So please, follow those. But also, don't feed into the fear. Everybody's very, very fearful, and of course, it's something very serious. It's a huge epidemic. It's global. It's worldwide. I think that's what the most concerning thing about it is. And I think it's very interesting, in our day and age, because of the media and because of all the interactions and the global interactions that we have in business and socially and everything, how rapidly it's spread. And so that has been very eye-opening and very scary, and very fearful, right? But try to manage your fear, because Roosevelt, and there were other times, and I don't want to minimize that in any way, but don't feed the fear. The fear brings in sometimes things that are irrational and things that maybe we're not conscious about. And since we're so fear-based and fear takes the best of us, then maybe we don't do we don't do things that are proper or rational, or we don't think things through and we just get them done, and and we realize that maybe that wasn't the best approach. So I don't know. I don't think I'm getting, I'm getting the gist of this video, but just be mindful. Fear is what really captivates us and really immobilizes us. And that's for life, right? As I tell my students, part of the reason that we don't do what we need to do, either, go to school, right? We sometimes don't go to school because we're fearful. And there's all sorts of ranges of fear, right? We don't have enough money. We don't have a car. Who's going to take care of the kids? I'm not smart enough. And so whatever dynamic and whatever it is that you tell yourself, those are the fears that you have within you. Same deal with relationships. Why is it, sometimes that we don't leave relationships that are toxic for us and that are unhealthy for us or for them, right? It's because we're fearful. So fearful immobilizes us, and it freezes us up to be able to, and it does not allow for us to be able to progress and be able to consciously move forward because we're so fearful. And so that immobilizes us. It creates in us something that does not allow us to progress or to mobile or to become mobile, to move, because we're so fearful. So be aware of what fears, of innate fears you have. I've noticed that, when my children told me you have to asthma, be careful, I started getting really fearful, right? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But, the more you fear it, the more that you sort of attract it. So try to release the fear. Make sure that you take the precautionary measures in this time, just like with anything in your life, as long as it's well thought out, as long as you sort of, and we can't think of everything. And sometimes we just don't know, we don't know if we're going to get sick. We don't know how we're going to do, but we're going to try as best as we can with the measures that were suggested, right? In my case, have the least interaction that I can. I still have to go out and do some stuff or whatever. And so I have to be very careful and very mindful of how I manage that and be able to, wash my hands and be able not to touch my face, and I do wear gloves and all that, but, not be at a point, where I'm just so fearful of getting it because, I have my asthma and who knows how it's going to go, that I'm just sort of thinking about it all day and just really, just engulfed by fear. So in this time that is very difficult for us, and, we're all sort of getting cabin fever, just be mindful of the fear that you carry, and be mindful, and maybe it is a time for you to reflect, what are your fears? What really, really are your fears? Not only with the coronavirus, but what are your fears that you have had in your life that have kept you, stagnant, and have kept you bound, and have kept you from maybe pursuing the life that you so wish to live, in the life that you so deserve. What is it within yourself? And what fears? Is it a fear of money? Is it a fear to be alone? Is it a fear of instability? Is it a fear of lack? Is it a fear that you're not worthy? Is it a fear that you're not smart enough? Is it a fear of failure? What is your fear that has kept you from achieving the goals and your happiness and your fulfillment in this life? Because that's all that our life is about. It's about making us better and making us into this amazing person that we so much love, and creating this life that we so much love to live every single day. So love and light. May you be healthy, and may your loved ones be healthy, and may you follow the quarantine rules and suggestions so that we can, as best as we can, try to get through this as healthy as we can. Many blessings, Chip.